now.
Welcome to the Adapt Collective, where we talk all things health, wellness, and movement.
Oh yeah, episode 19 of the Adapt Collective. My name is Peter Beitia. I will be your host today, and I'm joined by Mr. Marcus Sumter,
sir,
one of our lead coaches here at Adapt, and the it guy, man. Honestly, pleasure to have you here, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's about time. It's about time.
Yes, sir. Been long for this.
It's been
started from the bottom. Now we here.
Yeah. Plenty of bloopers in between too, guys. Stay tuned for those, honestly.
Yeah, this is a good episode. This is a good episode.
This is going to be a great
episode.
Guys, yes. If you're watching, I hope you're watching via YouTube or Spotify, not so much Apple. Apple, you guys need to get your stuff together. But if you're watching, our set is changing. We're adapting. We're always making it better for you guys. But before I get into today and why I have Mr. Sumter up in here, want to go through our sponsors, our pseudo sponsors, NOCO, pre and post, caffeinated, as we like to be as coaches and trainers. We got Celsius also getting us right. Pre and post, they do have non-caffeinated options. I don't know why you would not want to be caffeinated. And then LMNT, we got the salt packet, and we now have the carbonated canned drinks, which are fire. Stay salty.
One of my favorite brands too. For
and less sodium, like we were talking about before the show. The packets have a lot more salt compared to the can, so that's why I feel like the people like gravitate to the can now more. And they're just easier because you don't need to like put the salt into like, I don't know, a water bottle or whatever the case may be. So yeah, but Marcus, finally have you on here, man, and
it's a pleasure. It's an honor.
For you viewers at home, Marcus, I've been saying this, he's the epitome of our community, and it's been such a cool thing to see your evolution from when I first met you to how you started at Adapt, and then how you've evolved throughout the years in terms of all your different roles, from intern all the way to, your involvement in group classes, to, personal training, to working with youth. And like, you've always been that yes guy. Anytime we've needed help, anytime, you put your hand in the pot, and that's what we've always appreciated out of you. And then that's allowed you to really get so many reps, so many experiences that has shaped you to where you are today. And that's so cool to see. And like I said, I'm privileged to be a small part of that. And so, most people, honestly, most members just know you as like this endless energy on the floor, you battling out with Ben out there, who can be the best hype man, who could be the best coach out there. And you guys are like the yin and the yang, baby.
Yes, sir. Yang twin, baby.
You said it, not me, man. You said it. But like I said, not a lot of people know how you got here. And so like, let's take it back. How'd you get here, right? University?
Yeah, I went to Johnson Wales University.
Okay.
I moved down here in like 2014. I was there, actually went there for business management, hotel lodging management, but it was more so focused just on the business side.
Okay.
In my second year, deciding to stay for the summertime, I decided to just move down here and make that jump from Philadelphia and just, called Florida a new home.
Okay. Became a Florida boy.
Yes, sir. Became full-time Florida boy after 1 year. Didn't take much convention.
But still a Philly fan.
But still a Philly fan to the death. Come on now. But, I moved into these apartments right across from Adapt.
Okay.
And one morning I was waking up, getting ready to go to the gym at J-Woo, and I heard some music blasting and this short bald dude screaming at everybody.
Oh, it wasn't Jonas?
No, it was school.
Okay.
I found school at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I came over and I was like,
away.
What is this magical place? This little hole in the wall gym that.
Were you staying at that building across that light blue building?
Yeah.
That's where you were staying
Force Place thing. I think that's what it was called, Force Place. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, interesting. Awesome, man. And then
literally across the street.
I mean, okay, that obviously explains why Adapt, and you were just in the vicinity. But what was your first impression of, like, once you actually went in there and you met Scoob, like, what was your impression of the facility at that point?
Man, just it felt like a new home, but like it had that touch of like a professionalism with like a little ruggedness that I was used to.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because it kind of reminded me of like a couple of the other gyms from Jersey I went back to, and I was like, yeah, this is a spot I need to be at. It's got everything.
It had a little bit of everything. For those listeners and viewers, our old gym, it was like a quarter of what Adapt is today. It was very bare bones. You know, it was like only 3 or 4 of us. We had like a couple, open gym kind of machines, and then we had a turf, and then we had an open gym kind of area for like group classes, and that was it. Honestly,
that was it.
There was no recovery. There was an upstairs area that was like rented out to some like boxing company.
Yeah, right? It was the PAL league, I think.
Yeah, Police Academy League. Yeah. Man, the good old days. Honestly,
so small to see where we've come it really puts a spin on everything.
Yeah, and what you were into fitness, right? You were playing basketball for Johnson & Wales.
So I was at Johnson & Wales. First, I was just there for school. Then I went to walk on with the team, and I was doing like a summer training with them. Was on and off with them, and it was hard to stick around because I had to work and whatnot. But that's how originally I really started becoming more frequent at Adapt. It's because Johnson & Wales, the team was coming over there. They had contracted with Scoob and Scott, and I was joining in the workouts.
Okay. Yeah. We would go and depending on how Johnson & Wales allocated their budget, we would go and work with some of their teams. Sometimes we would do like community classes for the regular students. And so we ended up getting a lot of students from that university, and they were so close by as well. Okay, and then did you actually intern for us like through Johnson & Wales, or you started like what was your first role at Adapt, so to speak?
I joined straight on as
a member.
As a member.
Okay,
and then I was a member at Adapt back in college, and as soon as I got done and like. After the whole COVID thing happened, we moved over here. I came and joined back, and then I just asked Mo one day if they were hiring.
Yo, Mo, please hire me.
Literally, I walked in, I was like, yo, I'm tired of paying for the gym, Mo. Let me just work here. And she gave me a position for front desk, and I kind of just grew out from there.
Okay, yeah. You were just helping out at front desk, getting to know the in and outs of like mind, body, and Okay, cool. And then you then started working with kids, or group classes. What was your first?
I was working with kids first.
Okay.
The first thing I got thrown into was the YDP program with.
You got thrown into the wolves.
I got thrown into that.
It's trench work. It really is trench work.
It is trench work. People ask me that a lot, like how was the development process when I first started out, and I tell everybody honestly, it's constant trench work and doing a lot of the repetitive things, especially starting with the kids. You just went through a lot of the same workouts. Yeah. Learning organization tactics, what works, what doesn't work.
And I think you did some detail, right? Like some facility maintenance. You helped out with that as well.
I started detail. Then I wanted to start getting more into training. Mm-hmm. And I remember Scott pushed me more towards YDP to start with youth. Maria kind of helped me grow into that when she was here. And
Maria was one of our trainers as well at that time that worked with youth as well. Okay. And, I think you weren't really doing group classes, but like I know you started initially like filling in whenever we needed some help here and there, right?
I started showing Intern a little bit behind school.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was quite the experience itself. That was.
Please elaborate.
All I can really remember from doing that is school would come in. He'd tell me to be here at like 5 o'clock. I'd get here, I help him set up. For like the first week, I just watched him do classes. And then I remember, boom, I open the gym. He looks at me, takes me through the warm-up, and he says, all right, you got the first class, I'll do the second one, but then the last 2 are yours. I was like, what are you talking about?
It's like, okay,
all right. What do you mean? I just got here.
So thrown into the fire.
You got it. And that was it. So,
but he would give you feedback, like
of course. He walked me through the warm-up. He'd give me feedback. He wouldn't just leave me there. He got me used to just talking with the members in the flow.
Was one of those lessons that you learned from him?
Back
in those days.
Variation.
Okay.
Yeah. Variation, and more so being open to the different types of members that we have. Because you kind of want to be a certain way with yourself when you start coaching, but you quickly realize that not everybody is as receptive, and it's not you, it's more so the times of the morning, and then it's the things that they have going on with their life and who they are,
Yeah, so variation in terms of like like the crowd and the what their day in life are.
Yep.
It's funny, man. Are you reading my show notes? Like, which brings me to my next point, which like
Just stay on top of it.
Variation plays into that. Like what I've told you this, and you are like a social chameleon. And for those viewers and listeners, what I mean by that is like Marcus has an amazing ability to talk the shtick with whether you are mom and pop, 40-year-old white person, right? Or you are like 20 something, kid, teenager, with your own slang and your own,
Yeah.
and then you could be ghetto when you need to be ghetto.
Hey, man,
you can be, you can be southern when you want to be southern. You got a little Spanish in you too.
Yeah, here and there.
Hola, mami.
¿Qué pasó? Dímelo.
Vamos a hacer ejercicio. But in all seriousness, honestly, I think it's part of the variation which you're alluding to, and that adaptability to adjust your tonality, adjust your approach with people that has made you great at connecting with almost anyone. Aside from that lesson from school, what else would you say helps you in terms of adjusting your communication styles?
Really just being as open to cultures. I feel like that's what's really helped me the most. Adjusting my communication style. Growing up, my dad was always very keen on me learning how to deal with different types of people. And growing up, I wasn't just around one social group. I was around multiple social groups. Like when I first got into fitness, my dad had me go into gymnastics and then strength training and then soccer, basketball, baseball. Sometimes I was just around youth groups learning how to, manage young stress, young anger management things. For like kids that were just growing up and learning how to deal with their emotions.
Yeah.
And that taught me how to just be in tune with just your environment and the people that you're interacting with.
Just listening to, yeah.
Just being open to
just
your
leveling.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Reps, honestly. Just
Reps.
like reps.
Constant reps.
Yeah, that's great. Amazing. Do you notice, like, do you consciously change your approach? Like,
Yeah, I do. I've honestly, at first I didn't realize it until a couple of members have told me, and a couple of my friends just outside of here and coworkers from other places I work at have told me, like, hey, you're really good at just switching up your tone and acting a certain way when there's a certain group or person you're talking to. If it's somebody of a more professional standpoint, I know how to read their body language and be a little bit more presentable. If it's, I'm just hanging out with somebody who I have a lot of rapport with, I hang around a lot, I know how to just joke and give banter like that.
Yeah.
So,
and you take good banter as well.
Yeah.
I don't think you could work here at Adapt if you couldn't take the heat. So
it's a real give and take place.
Yeah. I love
how to give heat and,
as
and
members too. I was giving it the other day, and he's like, this is why I love this place, because I just come here to get socially bantered and beat up, but I know you guys love me.
Yeah, that's it.
What kind of follow up to that? What mistakes do you think coaches are making when trying to connect with people?
I think it kind of goes back to the idea of not being receptive to the message that somebody may be trying to relate to you. I think most coaches, we get caught up in things that we learned, and we're used to being around a certain environment, and we don't even realize it, but being in a certain environment makes us kind of like act a certain way, and then in a sense kind of carry this idea that we know a certain amount of knowledge, when it's like, yes, but no.
Yeah, unfortunately, experience can be a deterrent and eventually make us complacent, especially if we're not actively seeking out new experiences, new engagements, new interactions.
Exactly.
That's why we constantly preach, at least amongst our coaches, to like continuously audit ourselves and give each other the feedback to kind of like keep our swords sharp. But also like we also preach for you guys to, go out there and get different lessons and experiences, going to a different gym and take a class and meet other trainers. So that way you can, all right, that's, damn, I might be doing that, or damn, that's something I don't want to do, or hey, I want to incorporate that, right? Definitely a great lesson. You've coached large group classes, you've done small groups, and personal training. What in a nutshell, what's the difference between all of those?
Energy, focus, and communication.
Energy, focus, and communication.
More elaborate on communication, the transparency of your communication, I think. Like really just transparency of what you're trying to give somebody. Those things. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. Transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you manage your energy? Because we're constantly working. I see you. No, you're already here.
No,
hey, listen,
saves me
please
so much
sponsor us. All right,
please.
I'm tired of calling you guys pseudo sponsors. All right, this is for real though. Like,
if we got a report sheet, ask me. We got a report sheet of how much I spent on alcohol. Guys.
Yo, and not just you, the trainers. Like, I gotta get Mo on here because she's the one that can really elaborate on how much
we spend on that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The majority of like trainers. Yeah. And then, okay. So would you, what separates successful members from unsuccessful members then? That's my follow-up question too.
Oh man.
It's a different question. Obviously, that's the difference between group classes and small group and personal training. But for members, is it them going into one or the other, or is it maybe a combo, or maybe something else?
It's kind of a combination. It's weird how I've seen a trend where really successful members are consistent at keeping themselves in a routine, and not to say it's bad, but the not successful are the ones that are not seeing the progressions they really want, kind of easily bring themselves out of a routine or get themselves into or lack of a routine for themselves, I would say. I feel like the ones that are successful, you see them constantly coming into the gym, even if it's not for the classes, but they're in the gym working on themselves, whether it's they're lifting or they're in here doing some mobility. They maybe do a yoga class. Yeah. They're just doing something to keep themselves active majority of the week. And the other ones are coming, they might come 3 times during that week, but you won't see them until the next week for another 3 times. Yeah. Sometimes they come and they're kind of going through the motions, or they're just sort of halfway in what they're supposed to be doing, but really halfway out of it. Yeah. It happens. I get it. Emotions always go up and down, but that's usually what creates success.
At the end of the day, it like you said, I think those people, it's the discipline, the day in and day out. And it doesn't mean that you have to be high, full output all the time. You don't. There are other buckets, right, other than pouring into that intensity bucket, right? There's you're depositing into the recovery bucket. You're depositing into the cardiovascular zone 2 bucket, and it's your ability to constantly shift and make those micro adjustments over a long period of time is why you see those people that are like jacked, or like you just see their end product. Yeah. Right? But you don't see the journey, right? Yep. And then people are like, all right, they want that fast answer. So, okay. And so you've been here long enough to see Adapt evolve. What, I want to shift the conversation to, like, all right, and you're incorporated in terms of like the day in operation as well. What makes this place different for you as somebody that works here, as well as just for the community as well?
Man, that's really one of my favorite ones. I think I'm one of the favorite questions I usually get. What I think makes us stand out from a lot of the gyms, and not just to harp on the basic side of it and saying the community, but it's genuinely the community aspect that Adapt builds within itself. Because Adapt as a whole for the gym, we drive off the idea of everyone having a community feel, whether it's coming from the front desk, recovery, coaching standpoint, even just our outside services. As you look at some of the clubs that we provide in here, I think it's more so the idea of the community and the ecosystem inside Adapt that is built for everybody. Because if you really come in and step inside the gym, there's an avenue for everything to get done here. And it's not just even through us, it's through some of our partners. We have basketball programs, we have volleyball programs, we have combat programs. We have just different communities inside the community.
Little ecosystems within that.
Little ecosystems that help everybody grow.
Umbrella.
And I think that's the most beautiful thing about this gym.
And then and I want to segue to that, because it's like then you make all these relationships, and it's like, wow, it magnifies the community. And it's like there's so many layers. It just keeps compounding and compounding and compounding. And I personally think that's why people stay here. Would you say that's why you
100%. I think people stay here because they just develop those relationships and friendships. Like the other day, I was getting harassed by a couple of the members about, hey, we haven't seen listen in a while. Where's she been at? I was asked this for 2-3 times, and eventually had to reach out and just see how they were doing. And when they came back, everybody was just excited that they were back.
They're like,
and it gave me a little spark. I was like, damn, we have that it factor that most gyms are really attempting to build, but just can't replicate.
And it comes so organically too. Like we just have fun amongst ourselves as staff, and then honestly you can see it kind of transcend into our members, whether they're group class goers, whether they're just coming for open gym, whether they're just doing personal training, or like you said, the other clubs as well.
Keeps me looking forward to it too.
Awesome.
I look forward to being here when it's like that type of environment, for sure.
Okay. So in this next part, Marcus, we're gonna start wrapping this episode up, but basically we're gonna do kind of like a rapid fire, and for you folks that are listening and viewing us, I didn't give him, usually I try to come prepared, all right, some flow to what I'm gonna ask him and give him a little insight, give him a little bit of cheat sheet, but I did not give him a cheat sheet to what I'm about to ask him. We're gonna do rapid fire. You only allow one word answers, by the way, all right? Keep it simple, all right? Fast. All right. So I'll ask you a question and you give me an answer. All right, cool?
All right.
Ready?
Ready.
All right. Biggest coaching pet peeve?
Tardiness.
Ooh. He
Just like that.
He takes me out. He takes after me.
Tardiness. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Favorite classic coach?
AMFT.
Okay.
Our functional strength training.
Our functional strength training. Okay. Favorite class to take?
As much as I like AMFT, Wednesdays.
Ooh, okay. The hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid's fire.
Yes. So people love those long chipper style workouts. Yeah. Because you work at your own pace,
That's it, exactly.
Yeah. Most memorable member transformation.
Most memorable.
And it doesn't have to be physical, but you made an impact.
Transformation. Oh, wow. That is so difficult to say. Most memorable member transformation, I believe. It's a tough one.
Damn.
I can't even.
All right, we'll come back to it.
Everybody's amazing.
We'll come back.
Everybody's doing amazing. Let me keep myself out of
Most underrated exercise.
Most underrated exercise.
I'm coming with that fire.
Wow, that's a hard one. Most underrated exercise. Dude, I really think a lot of people overlook it. Even I do sometimes. Deadlift.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. What's one thing everyone should start doing tomorrow?
Brushing your teeth before you come to class. No.
Yeah, you 6 a.m. is y'all be wilding out here. Not brushing your teeth. Oh my God.
What do you just start doing tomorrow?
Oh my God.
Waking up with a clear mindset. There you go. Wake up with a clear mindset and brushing your teeth.
And brush your teeth. One word that describes Adapt.
Enlightening.
Okay. Favorite song to coach to? Ooh.
Favorite song to coach to? Man, I don't even get to put it on like that. But my favorite song to coach to is Future, Like That.
Like That.
Yep.
Like
my
that.
favorite one. That's the one that gets me hyped
that.
up.
I like
that.
I
love that joint.
You like that?
Yep.
You like that? Shout out to Kirk Cousins. All right. Favorite cheat sheet. Favorite cheat meal?
Lasagna.
You pasta boy. All right. Who wins in a dance battle? You or Ben?
Dude, I'm smoking. That's not a question.
Hey, Ben.
I don't know, Ben got the little peck dance and whatnot.
Ben got the 1-2 down,
Yeah,
but
he got the 1-2 peck
he got
dance.
the
He hit a
Haitian.
little
He got
Haitian
the
1-2. But I'm bringing out you got served. All right,
you got serve energy.
You know what I'm saying? They the new type vibes. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
I bet like that. All right. This next part of our segment is basically our hot tips. And basically, I'll lead this off, right? You know, it could be another pet peeve. It could be like, all right, you know, something similar to what you said about, you know, what you should start doing tomorrow, right? We'll expand on it basically. But my hot top tip, right, for this episode, I know it's a mouthful, right?
Hot top tip.
You know, it's summertime, you know, and people are like, "Oh, coach, you know, like I see you, you know, I'm trying my best to you know, stay away from that crazy fat dad bod, you know, so I'm out here hitting the weights and shit. My bad. You know, but you know, I'm really
working.
I'm working, you know.
I see it.
But I'm really working at the nutrition too. Like I'm making it a priority to make sure I don't make any split decisions and actually be reactive in terms of my nutrition.
Okay.
So you know, right now I can't meal prep like crazy, but what I've done is instead that, you know, we have a new partnership, and for those folks that have been walking to the facility, we actually got a fridge now, and we're partnered with True Made. And you know, they've made it so convenient for us, right, where we can order, we get a discount with them, adapt 10 at checkout, and basically they waive the delivery fees because they're our partner, right? They deliver on Sundays and Mondays, right? So at the beginning of the week, and then they deliver once again on Wednesdays if you so choose, right? And they just it makes it so effortless where I don't even gotta think about it. I just know, hey, they're really dialing in the macros, at least from a protein, carb, fat standpoint. I'm not reactive. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, and now I'm like having to rush to, I don't know, wherever it is I want to rush to, right? So, and then don't get me wrong, I only personally do the lunch and dinner sometimes, right? I don't do breakfast. I'll meal prep breakfast, and then on the weekends I'll prep my own food as well because I want to cook, but like during the week I don't have time. But that just takes it removes that part of the equation out of it where I'm not making those, you know, irrational decisions. So be on the lookout for that. You know, they're really helping us out, and our members really stay consistent with their dietary needs. So that's my, you know,
hot tips.
Hot tip, baby.
That's really Emily's voice back there.
Yeah. Shout out to Emily, baby.
Yo, Emily. Miss Soleil.
Miss Soleil. And all right, what about yourself? You got something for the people?
Hot tip? Mm-hmm. Just kind of ping-ponging on what you said on nutrition. Yeah, that is that's my tip as well. If you really want to see the change and you really want to keep yourself consistent, the best way to be consistent is doing your prep work. That means before and after, and keeping up with your nutrition. It's what's going to fuel you for the next day. It's what's going to fuel you for later on in the day, the actual workout. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people lack when they get ready to go on a fitness journey or they get ready to get themselves in the gym. Yeah. They don't properly fuel themselves prior towards the gym, and they're just not really caring about their gut after the gym, man. You know, you're just filling it with whatever. I know it's tempting, but when you create that discipline with food, it's weird how everything else just follows along. So
you know, I tell people, you know, treat yourself like a Ferrari, not like a Honda Civic. You know, put that 91, that 93. I know it's expensive, folks. You know what I mean? You know, but you know it does pay off long term, though. That's it. So, okay, cool. That was Marcus's
hot tips.
Hot top tip, baby. So, guys, you know, in terms of facility announcements, you know, like the latest and greatest, obviously we have the Run Club. Stay on the lookout for that. We just did, you know, which you brought the heat for Father's Day Brew Fest. If you missed,
to put on, man.
Yeah, if you missed that,
Fest, brother.
If you missed the Brew Fest and the community Saturday, right? Don't forget, it's every first Saturday of the month.
That's right.
You know, we have all sorts of you know, classes. We have vendors. It's always a great time. So be on the lookout for that.
Good vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Really good vibes.
Marcus, it's been a pleasure. You've been a part of
Thank
Adapt.
you so much for having me, brother.
From beginning, and you are once again the perfect example of what happens when someone consistently shows up. They stay hungry, and they invest in people. You're reaping the rewards, brother, and
Thank you, man.
I can't wait to see your next evolution as well, man.
I'm excited, and I'm more than blessed to be here.
Yeah.
So, as strong as the team that supports me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you found value in today's conversation, please leave us a rating, a review. It helps us reach more people outside of our community, and continue to bring these conversations to the community, honestly. So, like I said, any little bit of help, any little bit of sharing does help. Once again, it's been a pleasure. We are out. Peace.